Hey everybody, Ben for the Better Podcast, and welcome to Stock Up Sunday. This is our show where we have a look at new releases for Blood Bowl and things that are going up on the Bonehead Podcast shop. So it's a good way to keep up with what great stuff is coming out this month, as well as obviously checking out our podcast with the news feature. Anyway, let's have a look at Games Workshop news. Now, I'm recording this before we have the 6 o'clock preview, so who knows, maybe we'll have a Blood Bowl related news burst, but we're waiting on two things to drop on the Forge World store at the moment. Now, Games Workshop have been absolutely cruising through and making some really good star player models, and this chunky boy, I really like the idea of this. We talked about him on the show last week. I love this model for Grashnak Blackhoof, and I am very excited to order it from Forge World when it becomes available. Grashnak is just such a cool model, and you guys know me, I am a sucker for a Minotaur. Best big guy? Ooh, I don't know actually, maybe the Rat Ogre has now taken that place in my heart. Anyway, this guy's not a Rat Ogre, but he is a, strength 6, strength 7 absolute monster with a superpower that can 3-die block anybody with Frenzy. So as a star player, he's amazing. As a big guy model, also amazing. So really excited to get this one on the channel as soon as we can, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm also pretty excited to get my hands on the Ripper Bolgrot model. So Games Workshop have dropped their official Ripper model. Ripper is back. He landed in the Almanac this year, just bringing hope and truth and justice to all Badlands Brawls teams. I mean, Scrapper's probably going to do some stuff for Black Orc teams and Ogre teams, but Goblin teams, you got Bomber, now you got Ripper as well. So I'm very excited to get our hands on this model too from Forge World, because, I don't know, the character's amazing. Both of these big guys are really well done from Games Workshop, so very excited to see that. But as I am recording, we've had no news from Games Workshop, any other releases. It is now just about to tick over into June, so I would be expecting to see some kind of Blood Bowl release soon enough. I know we're kind of heavily rumoured to be waiting on vampires. I think we're probably not going to see a team release until we have another one of the Games Workshop previews. That's what they tend to do. Last year they did a preview in July because I was in Italy. That's right, not because I was in Italy, but I remember because I was in Italy when they previewed the Amazons. So I don't know, we might get, I don't know what we're going to get. That's the great thing about Blood Bowl right now, is we're waiting on teams, but realistically we don't need anything. The game is in a great place. The only thing we kind of want more of is more models, and that is coming up right now. So I thought we'd have a look at some of the Patreon and third-party releases that are coming out this month. And we're going to start with our buddy Brutey, because why would you not? So as you guys know, I'm a big fan of Squig teams, and we saw part 1 release from BruteFun just over a month and a bit ago. He's been working very hard and is basically there with the remainder of the Squig team. Now, we've got a full-on print-to-pitch coming this week for this team because it is just amazing. We've got another troll with a goblin in his hand, or goblin not in his hand, as the case may be. You've got a giant Squig, we've got another Squig, we've got another Pogo Hopper, we've got a couple of goblins. And then this is just where it gets really exciting, because he's done, I think, another 3 Squig Hoppers. So there's 4 Squig Hoppers available. We've got this guy with the very cool face mask. We've got this guy with the knightly helmet. There's another one he's not quite finished off yet. But you've also got some outrageous models in the way of the Squig Gobber. Now the Squig Gobber and the Hoppers, to be fair, and the giant Cave Squig, to be fair, are all for the secret team, the Goblin Squig team of the Fumble secret teams that is now available on Tour Play, and we've been talking about this for a little while. So you've got the Squig Gobber, which is basically a bombardier. You've got the Mangler Squig, which I think, if we tab across, we can get to, which is a fantastic model. It's 2 Squigs chained together. Think ball and chain, but not a secret weapon, which makes them very potent. And then you've got the giant Cave Squig, as well as some Squig Hoppers, who are just fantastic players. So the Squig team is just so much fun, and I'm so excited that we've actually got proper models for it. Now, this will all be up on the Bonehead podcast shop on the 1st of the month, so you can pick up the second part of the release if you've got the first part release. We're going to be doing bundles for a standard goblin team with these cool trolls and some of these Squig secret weapons, and then there is going to be a Squig version as well, which is going to come with your big Squig, your Gobber Squig, your Squig Hoppers, your Mangler Squig, just because Squigs are amazing. And you can use it as a standard goblin team, or you can do it properly and use it as the secret team for Squigs. There are enough pieces in there for you to run it as the Night Goblin team from Fumble as well, another secret team. Ultimately, we'll do a little packet for that as well. So if you just want to pick up the Night Goblin team, we're not going to do it. It's just going to be an add-on, I think. But anyway, you can get the standard Goblin team, or you can get the full-on Squig team, and amazing. If you've got a 3D printer, back BruteFun, because they're just some seriously fun models. And talking of seriously fun models, BruteFun did Grashnak, his version of Grashnak on the right-hand side here. And it was an awesome Minotaur model. Then, as a bit of a palette cleanser from working on the Squigs, he's gone and dropped a second version of Grashnak, which is just the same, but a little bit better, a little bit more dynamic, and it is just an absolutely righteous big guy. So if you are a Minotaur fan, then this month is a good one for you, because you've got a couple of really sweet alternatives to choose from. Anyway, those are BruteFun's releases. Look for that on the Bonehead Podcast shop on the 1st of the month. And then there are our friends at Punger. So BruteFun's dropping the second part of the Squig team. Last month, Punger absolutely knocked it out of the park with more of the Chaos Halflings, which are just a phenomenal series of models. So they did part 2 of the Halfling team, and they are skipping the Halflings and going straight to the support staff for their Orc team, their Sea Orc team, which was also a pretty good team. We are being spoiled at the moment. So the only 2 models they've spoiled so far is this guy here. I can't remember what they called it, Captain Star Player or something. Basically, you're going to be looking for your Orc big boy. So I want to say Grimgor. It's not Grimgor Ironhide, is it? Varag Ghoul Chewer. He's got his little skeleton on the back there. And they've also released an alternative troll wearing a hammerhead shark as a cape, which is amazing. He's also got some cool web pincer finches, so I don't know, just a really cool alternative there. There are some more star players that they've said they're going to put in this packet that's going to be as well. So I think there's a Goblin Chainsaw and a Bombardier too, so some really good alternative star players for Blood Bowl. Again, these will be up on our shop if you just want to pick them up, or just go and back Punger after. Well, actually back them now, because the Halflings are amazing. But if you've got a 3D printer, then next month you're going to be able to print out some pretty great star players from Punger Miniatures. And in a similar vein, Agni is not doing a team this month. They've gone with a star player support staff month, which is absolutely fine, because their last release was amazing. I don't think the Prince pictures dropped for that yet, which is a bit late, to be honest, obviously, because I took a bit of time off this month. Their Nurgle team was just absolutely amazing. Here it is. And this again is on our shop, but this is just the best Nurgle team I think I've ever seen. The detail is fantastic, but they've just got this weird little muscle, tree bark, fungus vibe to it that I just haven't seen ever. The Pestigores are amazing, the Bloaters are gross, the standard zombie dudes are just a brilliant combination as well. And old Tentacle Face here is just the best bloater. So Agni just did an excellent job this month. So this video is going out before the end of the month, so if you haven't checked them out and you do have a 3D printer, then definitely jump on and back that before those files are gone, or pick up the team from us. But this month they're going to be doing, well, next month they're going to be doing support staff, and there's a few absolute winners in there. So they've got a couple of blocker upgrades for their Amazon team, which is also a very good team. They've got some busts, they've got some cool Nurgling coaches, but there's a few real keepers here to call out. Oh, where do we go first? Okay, first of all is the acorns. So one acorn on the far left hand side, and this acorn here, they've just done 2 acorns with a similar kind of vibe to their Nurgle team. So you've got that kind of I don't know, mushroom fungus vibe to it. It may look different when they're done, but I don't know. I love the 2 acorn models, so that's just really sweet. You got some cool cheerleaders and stuff there, but this is the other real nugget, I think, in this release, which is the Withergrasp double draw for them. So this dude here, which I think they've sneaky done a really good job there. The Forge World model is superb. This one I think is the closest to it in terms of quality. Good form of tentacles and a kind of derpy face that really kind of fits the lore and fits the character of that character. So I really like that. And they've also got a very serviceable Estelle Laverneau. Frog Lady is here with a very Disney frog, which is cool. And they've already done the They've already done Boa Constrictor, so they are wrapping up the Lustrian Super League stars with the Estelle there, and Withergrasp being the most recent release kind of tops it off as well. And you've got Lucky the Unicorn, which is a very old school reference for Blood Bowl, which I think is really cool. I don't know what you could use them as, maybe Rumbelow, I suppose, but very cool anyway. So Agni got some great stuff coming out this month to go along with the last month of beautiful Fungus Nurgle. And then we've got Torchlight. So this month Torchlight are releasing a very cool Dark Elf team. Now Torchlight tend to be a little bit more cartoony in style. However, the last few teams they've done have been really good. And I mean really, really, really good. So good that we've added Torchlight to the list of teams that we are going to be providing on our website. So as of next month, we will have the Dark Elf team that they're dropping next week, which is a very well done team. Now Dark Elves, I don't know, third party 3D printed ones. The Agni one is excellent. It's very stylized with all the raven kind of stuff, all the filigree on the armor. This is a more classic Dark Elf one with that kind of cartoony Torchlight twist. You've got the helmetless dudes, you've got the runners there, you've got some pretty cool Dark Elf assassins. They are a little bit on the cartoony side, but I think that's part of the charm of Torchlight, and quite frankly in Blood Bowl it works. So the Dark Elf team is going to come this month, and then the other one we're going to drop on the shop immediately is going to be the Chaos team, because it is awesome. Now the Torchlight Chaos team, the scaling of the big guys, the scaling of the warriors is all over the place, so it took me a while to kind of get them to a consistent point. Like literally, this guy was just randomly twice the size almost of this guy. It was a bit hodgepodge, but actually, once you kind of curate them and bring them all to the right size, the team is flipping awesome. The Beastmen are really good. They are, again, a little bit characterful, a little bit cartoony, that little bit kind of derpy round edges bit, but the warriors are amazing. The Beastmen are really good. The big guys are, I mean, like this, the ogre is just awesome. Like that big ox face and the kind of mummy face. It's just a really, really, really cool model. Looks properly video gamey. It's a really solid Chaos team. It's probably my favorite 3D printed Chaos team that's out there available at the moment. The warriors they just nailed it. They've just done a really good job with that. So that's also going to go up on our site. But the Dark Elf team really won it over. And actually, there is another team that I'm going to get up there quite soon, which was their Ogre team, because it has got a ton of character. Again, we'll be doing print to pitch videos for those over the next month. Starting with Dark Elves, then going to Chaos, I think, then going to the Ogre team, because they're just too good not to show off. And talking of things that are too good not to show off, Realm of Paths I've dropped a couple of winning teams recently. So this is the team that they're going to be dropping this month, which is the Norse team. Now, I believe Realm of Paths has been trying to do more kind of realistic sculpting. Hey, this is Blood Bowl. You don't need to go too hard in the world of realistic sculpting because, one, you've got a Yeti, and two, it's kind of a cartoony game anyway. But they've done a really good job with this Norse team. So you've got the big Snow Yeti in the middle. You've got a couple of Ulf Warriors. This guy here at the top right hand side I really love because it just absolutely smacks of Beastman from not Beastman, Sabretooth from X-Men, which I like that. He's got that weird little visor thing. It's just really, really, really cool. The team itself is really well done. It's your classic Norse, peculiarly topless Viking guys. No egregious sort of oversculpts or anything. It's just a really solid and well-designed team. Complete team there, and you've got a couple of the charming little beer boars. So you've got the Berserkers, you've got the Ulfburners, you've got the big old Snow Troll, and you've got a couple of great Valkyries there. It's a really good team. So again, we'll be adding this full team to our repertoire on our store because, again, it is too good not to kind of get out there And it was this one that Ben found as well that really kind of pushed it over the bar for me, which is the Realm of Paths Tomb Undead. I just broke that guy. This is potentially the best Tomb King team available for 3D printing, and probably the best Tomb King team available that isn't the Punger one. Now, the Punger Tomb King team is amazing, but I think it's probably over £100 to get ordered. This one is very, very, very good. You've got some fun cartoony skeletons, and again, this one's going to be up on our store for, you know, £30 or whatever. So it makes it very accessible, because Tomb Kings are again another team that's a little bit too fun not to run. So Realm of Paths, this month they're dropping their Norse team, but we're going to be adding Norse and Tomb Kings to our website in the next week. Okay, so that wraps up Stock Up Sunday. I guess one thing to call out is, if you've been on our store, you may have noticed that there's a lot less individual models available. Tiff and I are in the process, or just warming up, to move house. So rather than having pockets of lots of different models, at the moment, until we've completed the move, the majority of what's going to be available on the site is going to be whole teams and bundles, because I can print them and put them in a box, label the box, and I've got the team ready. It makes it really difficult when there's like all these star players and all these packets of like positionals and stuff like that. That's what we want to do, and that's what we'll do probably once we've got moved. I've got a load of storage ready for one of the sheds to be all set up, but probably over the next couple of months while that's going on, I'm going to say what we've got available on the store will be less. It's just going to be whole team. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube Members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.